The saga surrounding Diddy continues to unravel with shocking revelations and deepening legal complications. Recent reports suggest that the music mogul experienced a severe nervous breakdown while imprisoned, allegedly spurred by threats, assaults, and the crushing isolation of his circumstances. These incidents reportedly stem from efforts by powerful individuals in Hollywood and the music industry to silence him. Insiders claim Diddy possesses damaging information about influential figures, raising fears over what he might reveal if pushed too far. According to a report from the Daily Mail, spending the holiday season behind bars was unbearable for Diddy. A source close to him described the ordeal as a living nightmare, claiming the emotional weight of his situation culminated in a breakdown. The source recounted how Diddy begged guards to take him to the hospital for observation. His pleas were denied, leaving him to manage his distress alone. Ultimately, he relied on meditation techniques learned during his incarceration, spending hours practicing deep breathing and focused concentration to pull himself out of the spiral. Although he eventually calmed down, the episode cast a spotlight on his fragile mental state, a concern that has followed him since his initial placement on suicide watch upon entering the detention facility. Initially housed in a protective unit due to concerns over his safety, Diddy was later moved to the general population. It was here, amid the heightened tension and limited security, that the breakdown reportedly occurred. Critics have questioned whether Diddy's environment has exacerbated his struggles, while supporters argue for leniency, pointing to his mental health as a reason for alternative housing. This emotional turmoil is only the beginning of Diddy's troubles. His legal battles have expanded dramatically, implicating several high-profile figures, including Jennifer Lopez. New court filings allege that J.Lo was aware of incriminating evidence tied to Diddy during their relationship in the late 1990s. Specifically, she is accused of knowing about videotapes allegedly documenting heinous crimes and choosing to remain silent. Legal documents suggest J.Lo was questioned about this matter by New York law enforcement and reportedly confirmed the tape's existence, though she took no action to expose them. The controversy threatens to draw J.Lo into a legal quagmire, with implications for other prominent celebrities rumored to have connections to Diddy's alleged misconduct. The lawsuit filed by Cardell Smith has intensified public scrutiny. Smith accuses Diddy of violent crimes, including rape, and claims the music executive leveraged threats of murder against his family to keep him silent. He argues that fear for his own safety and the safety of his loved ones delayed his reporting of the alleged assault for years. Smith asserts that Diddy's influence over prison guards and inmates has extended to orchestrated intimidation efforts behind bars, adding to the environment of fear surrounding this case. While Diddy's legal team has worked tirelessly to secure his release on bail, the court remains firm. A proposed $50 million bail package, co-signed by his family and backed by the equity in his Miami property, was rejected by the judge, who deemed him a flight risk. The judge cited a history of witness tampering and threats as key reasons for the denial, a significant setback for Diddy's defense. These allegations suggest a pattern of behavior that has cast a shadow over the mogul's character, weakening his claim to innocence. The implications of this case are seismic, stretching far beyond Diddy himself. Observers have drawn comparisons to Jeffrey Epstein's high-profile case, with some speculating that Diddy's knowledge of others' misdeeds could put his safety in jeopardy. Whispers of a conspiracy to silence grow louder as accusations pull in more celebrities, including Jay-Z and Beyoncé. The pressure mounts and rumors swirl about whether Diddy might attempt to flee, cooperate with authorities, or even succumb to the intense psychological strain. Diddy's legal challenges are compounded by claims about his state of mind. Reports of his breakdown have sparked fears of a potential Epstein-like scenario, with skeptics questioning the level of protection available to someone as deeply entangled in scandals as Diddy. Even if he survives these turbulent times, the road ahead is fraught with uncertainty. From his reputation as a cultural icon to his status as a defendant in one of the year's most sensational lawsuits, the stakes couldn't be higher. At this critical juncture, the world watches as this gripping story unfolds, each revelation pulling back the curtain on a darker side of fame and power. Diddy's fall from grace, entangled with allegations of betrayal, violence, and corruption, signals a reckoning for those who believe themselves untouchable. Whether justice will prevail or the truth will remain shrouded in secrecy is a question that hangs heavy over this high-stakes case. Diddy's legal team remains relentless in their efforts to secure bail for the music mogul, insisting that his current conditions in solitary confinement are inhumane and detrimental to his ability to mount a proper defense. Following the rejection of a $50 million bail package, which included the surrender of his passport and assurances of strict house arrest, Diddy's lawyer highlighted the unnecessarily harsh treatment he faces. Detention at the Metropolitan Detention Facility, they argue, places his mental health and physical safety at risk, especially given allegations labeling him a P&S, which make him a target in prison. Diddy has reportedly been placed in solitary confinement, allegedly for his protection, although sources claim this isolation only exacerbates the psychological toll of his incarceration. Adding to the complexity of his situation, some believe that federal authorities are using Diddy's case as leverage to expose more powerful individuals. These theories suggest that Diddy's detainment isn't just about his alleged crimes, but is part of a broader strategy to pressure him into testifying against high-profile figures connected to his network. Reports indicate that he has been under surveillance for months, with wiretaps and monitoring of his movements suggesting extensive preparation by federal investigators. The decision to deny him bail has prompted speculation that authorities fear he may tamper with evidence or witnesses, particularly given accusations of his past attempts to influence those involved in the case. As the fallout intensifies, Diddy's personal and professional circles appear to be unraveling. Former allies and industry partners, who once stood by him, are now distancing themselves amid public and legal scrutiny. Speculation has mounted that Diddy might be playing a pivotal role in a scandal reminiscent of Jeffrey Epstein's, involving high-powered individuals from the worlds of politics, music, sports, and even royalty. The alleged use of compromising tapes to control influential figures only fuels these comparisons, as insiders reveal that events tied to Diddy and his associates may have ensnared unsuspecting victims into blackmail schemes. Further complicating matters, reports have surfaced that Diddy used other inmates' phone cards to bypass restrictions, which has led to heightened scrutiny and stricter monitoring. This has prompted renewed concerns over his treatment, as his legal team argues that frequent cell searches and confiscation of his legal documents are violations of attorney-client privileges, further hindering his defense preparations. Meanwhile, the denial of bail has reportedly hit Diddy hard, with sources claiming that his realization of the severity of his situation has led to bouts of panic and despair. After an initial period of attempting to adapt to prison life, Diddy is now back on suicide watch, an indicator of the mounting pressure on him both mentally and emotionally. The case's broader implications are becoming increasingly apparent as rumors emerge that Diddy's downfall might expose an extensive web of corruption and criminal activity at the highest levels. Federal investigators, according to some sources, may be using Diddy to uncover a network of powerful figures who have remained untouchable until now. Even Diddy's connection to New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who awarded him the key to the city just weeks before his arrest, has drawn scrutiny, raising questions about the timing and implications of that gesture. This intricate web of connections, allegations, and high-stakes legal drama has left observers anticipating that further revelations could send shockwaves through the industry and beyond. Despite the mounting challenges, Diddy's legal team remains resolute, emphasizing his innocence and determination to fight the charges. They are pushing for a speedy trial, determined to reduce his time in detention and expose perceived injustices in the handling of his case. As the saga unfolds, the world watches closely, speculating about what might come next and whether Diddy will emerge as a scapegoat, a whistleblower, or a central figure in one of the most significant legal and cultural battles of recent history. Diddy's current situation in prison continues to draw attention, especially with reports of his increased vulnerability. According to sources close to the case, Diddy is being monitored closely, with a therapist visiting his cell multiple times daily. There's talk of placing him in an even more secure bubble cell, with a plexiglass wall and round-the-clock observation by other inmates specifically tasked with keeping watch over those on suicide watch. Some of the reports coming out indicate that this is part of an ongoing effort to ensure Diddy's safety, as he has been placed in a highly dangerous facility. There are issues within the facility, such as the mixing of violent and white-collar criminals in the same housing units. While some think Diddy could potentially use his wealth and connections to gain favor with some of these inmates, experts say that individuals doing significant prison time may not hesitate to harm him to gain street credibility. There's a growing concern about what might happen to Diddy if he's placed with other dangerous criminals, given that some of those incarcerated face life sentences with no chance of parole. Adding to the complexities, Diddy's case seems to involve far more than just a single criminal act. Authorities have reportedly gathered extensive evidence, including surveillance tapes from his mansion, which they claim depict illegal activities. The tapes allegedly include footage of celebrities involved in compromising situations, and some victims are now stepping forward. One of the lawyers, Ariel Mitchell, representing the victims, revealed that she had been offered to purchase some of these tapes, raising further alarms about the scope of Diddy's criminal activities. Some of his alleged victims are particularly fearful of retaliation, with online threats targeting them. While it's unclear who is behind these threats, Mitchell is working with law enforcement to trace them to potential sources. The situation continues to grow more volatile with the rising number of victims coming forward. One of them, Thea Graves, filed a federal lawsuit against Diddy and his former bodyguard, alleging she was drugged and sexually assaulted at a Bad Boy Records studio in 2001. The lawsuit claims that the assault was recorded, and the footage was shown to other individuals, solidifying the horrific claims. Graves and others, after years of silence due to threats, now seek justice as the case takes a more public turn. Diddy's legal struggles include federal charges for sex trafficking, racketeering, and conspiracy, and despite multiple attempts to secure bail, it has been denied twice. Diddy's defense team remains confident in his innocence, but the growing volume of victim statements, alongside the disturbing details about how some of these alleged assaults occurred, suggests the case could soon reach a pivotal point. The widespread nature of these alleged crimes, with high-profile figures from various sectors, further complicates the situation, leading to speculation that the investigation could widen even more. As one of Diddy's associates reportedly confirmed, there have been suggestions that some of the activities could involve minors, with disturbing stories about what allegedly occurred at exclusive parties he hosted. An example includes a description of a wild party on Star Island, where it was claimed minors were present, though no specific illegal acts involving them were described. Amidst this, investigative journalists and individuals from Diddy's past continue to share harrowing accounts, painting a complex and ugly picture of what might lie beneath the surface of his success.